that they need more and more and more, and it just funnels like a deeper addiction. Nobody's a virgin starting off doing like weird stuff or having like a foot fetish. It's not really like normal, and so I think that's mostly what he's talking about and saying that's why it's just detrimental. People should just stay away from it.
I completely understand. Like, I'm super conservative, Republican, whatever. Like, I'm not saying, yeah. I'm a huge patriot. Grab her by the all day, every day. I don't know why anything is wrong with that. The girl should get off first. Like, he's being very respectful by saying that. I hate when guys want a blowjob before they would grab her pussy. I don't know
how that's related, but do you consider yourself conservative or traditional?
Yeah, Trump 2024. Huge Republican.
Well, I mean, that's your politics, but
I don't think
you do OF, correct?
Yeah, but it was all with my boyfriend. We just broke up, but he was the only one ever on it.
I don't think
for me, it was like a reality TV show that's like just stuff that you can't put on actual TV. But if people want to pay me to see my dating life of what I'm already doing, and then I can just live like on vacation every day, all day with my own boyfriend, like, why would I not do that?
I'll let you guys come in really quick. Can you really consider yourself traditional without making a judgment about what you're doing? But can you really consider yourself traditional if you're engaged in sex work?
Well, traditionalism is not so much more of a like.
It's not my fault Eve ate the apple. It's just not. We're all supposed to be naked in caves.
Well, I don't.
That's traditional.
Yeah, no, it's not really true. I mean, traditional is not so much like a political belief.
Have you guys ever fucked in a cave? Just curious.
No, because
maybe it's in the works.
Eve ate the apple.
Find some Taliban fighters in there.
We can't. It should be.
I know people who are Republican that are not traditional. Traditionalism is more rooted in like a biblical ideology, and it comes from more of a morality standpoint. So, like, would I consider someone doing OnlyFans traditional? No, not at all.
I understand that, but I am very traditional, very conservative.
How would
huge
you consider
Republican,
yourself?
Huge patriot.
She is.
Well, you could be
you're
Republican,
like,
but
yeah,
I'm not sure if you
that
can
doesn't
be
mean.
traditional.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I don't want kids.
You like RFK?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just doing it with one person. I was just doing it with one person. It's just my boyfriend. It's like reality TV shows. I don't really believe that the way society, like, first of all, who says societal norms are correct? I think that society is built up so horribly. Like, we're supposed to be in our roots, connected to nature, and everyone's just kind of like living in this way that we never were supposed to be intended to live. Like, we're supposed to be like naked, living off the land, connecting to the universe. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I'm not fucking a bunch of other guys. It was just me and my boyfriend.
And what's more traditional than the oldest profession in the world?
Exactly. That's what we're here to do. We're here to reproduce, right? Like, if you're traditional, you're pro-life. So, like, we're here to reproduce. We're here to have sex. We're here to live off the land.
But you're not having sex to just have children. You're having sex to create content.
I'm having sex because
for your OnlyFans.
I'm dating someone.
But you're not doing it with just
No, I'm not doing it with just anyone. I'm doing it with one person.
Right. It's
Thank you for the
I'm doing it with one
memberships.
person.
I have a question. So I was looking up some research on pornography, and the average age of entry for people who use porn, not even addictively necessarily, but kind of regular use at least, is 13 years old. So that's typically when, usually a young boy, but sometimes young girls will fall into it or earlier. And that's just the stat. And, in Utah, as an example, they banned porn for underage kids. You had to get age verified. And the biggest porn company in the world pulled out of Utah and said, we're not even going to do business there anymore because so many of their clients were underage and they didn't want to have to deal with that. So, knowing that there are so many young eyes on the internet, back to the kids, because I know you said, well, the kids is one way you can bring the conversation, but there's so many young children on the internet.
That's up to the parents. The parents shouldn't be giving the kids iPads. I hate when I go out and I see parents and kids out to dinner and the kids are on iPads and their phones and stuff. Like, I would never let my kids have iPhones
you're
and stuff like
creating
that.
pornography, and you're saying
I'm
you don't want
actually what I think though is I have a reality TV show with my boyfriend at the time, now ex. If you want to pay to see it, you pay to see it. I don't care.
But it's pornography, right?
I mean, it's the same, like, we have rated R movies. We make content that kids aren't supposed to see all the time. Are we not supposed to make it because they're accessing it? Like, there should be things put in place so that they don't access it. And, like, if you don't want your kid to go on the internet and by themselves in their bedroom, like, don't give them access to the tools that let them see those things. I don't plan on giving my kid a phone until they're like 16 years old.
Exactly.
You know, so like that's not on us.
How old were you when you first saw porn?
When I was 11 years old, me and my friends found a stack of nudie magazines in a dumpster somehow, and we, took a plastic bin out into the woods and we preserved them in the woods because we couldn't keep them at our houses because we were so young. And I don't think that there's any army in the world that could have taken these magazines away from us.
So kids are going to see it regardless.
What ultimately took it away from us was the rain, because it rained and it caused a lot of water damage and the pages were sticking together. But I say all that to say that even though obviously I feel like there probably should be rules in place so that an 11-year-old can't see porn, or it's difficult for them to see it, it also just seems kind of like almost pointless to even try, because you know that this is like the most fundamental base thing that a kid is going to search out, right?
So do you think it should be illegal to make porn in general?
No, I think also, like, as much anti-porn as I am, and as much as I would love to see it like completely banned, obviously that's not going to happen, but I think that there should be somewhat of a middle ground between people who are super anti-porn and people who are pro-porn, or at least there should be some sort of age restriction.
Oh, I am completely.
As she said, the average age of introduction to pornography, I think it's actually 12
years old.
But it's not supposed
to be.
And the average age that a child gets
the
average age that a child gets a smartphone now is about 10 years old. So yeah, at some point they're going to be introduced to pornography, but a lot of these websites don't
Why
have
are the parents giving 10-year-olds?
Yeah, but that's
I think you're missing the point.
No, I don't think I am. I think parents need to parent better. Don't give your 10-year-old an iPhone.
My point is more so that
don't give your 3-year-old an iPad.
But if you're putting something out there in the world that you think is so harmful, why would you keep putting it out there?
I don't think what I'm doing is harmful, because you have to be 18 to see what I'm doing.
But so that's what I'm
telling you. This is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. What happens behind closed doors is always going to happen. Coke isn't legal. Everyone does Coke.
Okay, Isabella, finish your thought, then we're going to move on.
It's not my fault if people find a way to do things.
This goes back to the age verification thing that I was talking about, that Lila was talking about, is these, like, you go on the website and they ask you if you're 18, you click yes. There's no, like, genuine, like, there's no actual age verification that, like, any child can go on and access. So you're saying parents shouldn't give their child screens to be able to even be put in a position to access it, but
children
you're
should
providing
be outside.
Pornography on your end to be able to.
Children should be outside playing. They shouldn't be on iPads. They shouldn't be playing video games. They shouldn't be on iPhones, etc.
To add what she said,
it's a very counterintuitive.
Honestly, anything nowadays is so easily accessible. Whether you give your child a phone or not, their friends are gonna have phones.
So this is the
word
thing.
Goes around.
But why is the solution
that's not really up to us? Maybe you need to ask, like, the owner of ØnlyFans to do a better verification. The owner of
But they have. They have.
A credit card, so it's like already got pretty good verification, right?
They have.
Would you guys like start a campaign to demand that OnlyFans and Pornhub does that? Since you are.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't think kids should be watching porn.
Would you work for, like, for example, Utah's law that says that there needs to be real age verification, and so Pornhub
ID verification.
Pornhub left the state. Would you advocate for that federally?
Yeah. Like, I don't think little kids should be watching certain things, but also at the same time, people are going to watch what they're going to watch. People are going to pay for what they're going to pay for.
But if
it's not me, it's going to be someone else, so I'm going to make my money. No offense.
But if you could make money another way, would you opt out?
I've been Pilates instructor. I have 2 different real estate licenses. I've been the general manager of my Pilates studio. I've been a whole bunch of things. I have multiple different degrees. I live life like I'm on vacation every single day. I make more money than all of my friends do. And all I had to do was just open up to the world about who me and my boyfriend were. And we're supposed to live off the land. We're supposed to be in love. Girls are supposed to embrace their femininity. Men are supposed to embrace their masculinity. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
Christy, if you could do something else and make the same amount of money, would you?
No, because I'd have to spend a lot more time doing it.
Okay, if you could do something else and not spend more time
What would it be?
If you could do...
Well, we're making a podcast, too.
Okay, if your podcast blew up and replaced your OnlyFans revenue.
I would continue doing both, because I'll double the revenue.
Okay.
So
I'm not stupid.
It sounds a little contradictory because on the one hand,
I understand it's very controversial, and a lot of people don't get it.
Like on the one hand, you're saying it creates a lot of harm, and you don't want this for kids, and it kind of concerns you.
I don't think it's controversial at all.
But you're also saying a lot of kids access it, and that it's everywhere.
No, I'm not saying a lot of kids access it. I'm saying
they do.
Parents need to parent better. Parents are also sending children to public schools in liberal states, and they're pushing gender shit.
But do you think it's fair?
All down their throats.
Do you think
there are. This is what I care about. In a lot of elementary schools, there are books in the libraries.
All right, we're not gonna talk about that.
Okay, we're not gonna. That's way worse. I think that's way worse.
That's way worse.
I just have one question. Do you think it's fair to demand the standard of parents when we're creating this very pornified society with tons of porn everywhere? To demand that parents can somehow magically insulate their children from the extreme pornification that's accelerating in our society.
The only responsibility parents have is to parent their children, protect their children.
But should we as a society help parents?
Children can't get an Apple phone, get a computer. They cannot pay for those things themselves unless their parents are providing it.
But should we
yes, I think parents need to parent better.
Should we take responsibility to help families and parents at large do better for their kids by not adding to the toxicity out there that is hurting our kids?
My fans aren't kids. My fans
How do you know that?
Because I know who they are. Because I'm in there every day talking to these people.
Have you seen their IDs?
I know who they are. They're unhappy married men that are afraid to get divorced because they made a commitment and they're scared and they don't know what to do.
But how
would
they
they're not being
get a credit card and buy an
satisfied.
OnlyFans membership?
But do you think it's healthy for them? Do you think it's healthy for those men to be in that situation, cheating on their wife, unhappy?
I don't.
Then why?
But it's not
benefiting them besides
this is
you
the thing.
financially.
They should not have entered into that commitment in the first place.
I
that is a
understand
bigger issue,
what
way
you're
above
saying.
me.
I understand.
And it's not going to stop with me.
But let me
Marriage is a big
final
commitment.
thought, Isabella, then we're going to
Why
move
would
on.
you commit to a man or a woman if
Okay.
you weren't fully committed?
I agree with that, but why would we? I think we each have a personal responsibility to do good, right? And so if it's if it's hurting kids, if it's hurting couples that are on the rocks, if it's hurting addicts, if it's hurting these different people, why would we continue to be a part of it?
No, but it's not hurting them. It's them choosing. Everyone has choices in life, right?
Of course, but
every single person can choose.
Are we helping or hurting those people that have choices?
They're going to do it no matter what. If I'm in it, if they're in it, they're going to do it no matter what.
It sounds like what a drug dealer could say. You know, they're going to do drugs no matter what.
Yes, everyone's going to do drugs no matter what.